Hello, Faelan Shiva here with Stars and Cards, your 2 week astrology forecast for the Everyday Priestess channel. So, this is a 2 week forecast, and today is the 26th, and it's the new moon in Gemini tonight at 8 o'clock, 8:02 p.m. Pacific time. So, there's two major things that I want to really talk about that I think are the most potent. One already happened on the 24th. Saturn moved into Aries. And tonight we have a new moon. And I feel like these are really the two most potent things we have in this period of time. But if we have time, I will also touch on some of the faster transits. So the first thing I want to say is that if you are kind of newer to astrology or you just don't know, the slower a planet moves, the more impact its transits create. So even though Saturn went into Aries already, I feel that it's really important because it's quite fresh, and Saturn stays in a sign for 2.5 years approximately. There will be retrograde and forward motion, but this is a very new energy. It's very present right now. That was only a couple days ago. And let me make sure I have the date right, because I've been off in ceremonies and time got wobbly. I just want to confirm the date that I am telling you. Yes, May 24th, Saturn entered Aries. So, and coming into conjunction with Neptune. So Neptune in Aries, at just 1 degree of Aries, is dreamy and spiritual and can be confusing, but also really idealistic. Saturn is very realistic, very logical, very stern. And so you may hear a lot of doomsday interpretations of, oh, well, Saturn and Neptune, they don't get along, so this is going to be a horrible conjunction. And it's in Aries, the sign of the warrior. Okay, sure, yes. It isn't that those things are not true, but there's a lot of more nuance than that. Firstly, the primary principle of magic. This is the Priestess channel. If you're watching this, you probably have some interest in the esoteric arts. So the fundamental thing with magic is the union of opposites. One of the fundamental things of magic. So we have Neptune, the dreamer, and we have Saturn, the realist, and they're in Aries, which has this very like, let's just get it done. Let's go. Let's think later and just do now. And there is a lot of aggression and warrior energy in the sign of Aries, but it's also a very brave starting point. So if you have the dreamer and the realist married together, they're in conjunction, they're trying to work it out, then you have the ability to manifest the dream. So if you think of, and you may, if you read my tarot spread for the new moon, you'll have already heard this, but it's really important to me because as I was meditating with Saturn recently, I realized that crystal, like all of those crystals we all know and love, like quartz crystal, any of those crystals, this is the densification of matter. This is taking light, which could be related to Neptune, and slowing it down and constricting it until it crystallizes. So this is a really important energy. And when we look at our crystals, when we hold our crystals, when we meditate with our crystals, when we wear our crystals, we feel their magic. We feel their spiritual connection. We feel the light that they represent. So please don't forget that Saturn is what crystallizes matter. So here's Neptune, the dreamer, and Saturn, the materializer. And if we work with this consciously, we can materialize our dreams. So let's let that be the focus. And that doesn't mean it's all going to be comfortable and light and rainbows and, oh, well, I'll just think it and it will happen. Saturn requires work. Neptune can be confusing. So it isn't that it's going to come easily, but it will likely come quickly if we stay focused, because Aries is quick. Okay, which leads us into the new moon tonight in Gemini with Mercury. I would call it conjunct. It's close enough. Sitting very close by Mercury, the ruler of Gemini. The beautiful thing about this is Mercury is the magician, is Hermes. Mercury is the he, she that speaks things into manifestation. Mercury uses words as spells. So we have this new moon in Gemini that is really inviting us to pay attention to the words that we speak and to speak out loud. Speak it out loud. What it is we're trying to create. It's a new moon. It's a fresh start. Gemini is very curious and playful, a shapeshifter. And that's not all. Gemini also holds the mysteries of the pillars of the tree of life. So there is so much magic available. And the new moon is about speaking it into existence, which includes releasing harmful speech that keeps you from reaching your true potential or really embracing your power. And that includes inner dialogue. So if you are in an abusive relationship with your own mind, it is really important that we release those negative speech patterns, whether we're saying them out loud or not. Now, take this fresh start, manifesting the dream of Neptune and Aries, or Neptune and Saturn in Aries, and this very magical magician's new moon. Let me make the right geometry here. This actually matters. Gemini new moon pretty much conjunct Mercury. Mercury is definitely close enough to count. And the geometry between those placements supports each other. It's what's called a sextile. So there's all of this new believe, do it, speak it, manifest it. And if that's the only thing that you get from this video today, that's what I want to focus on. For the sake of time, I'm going to quickly talk about a couple of the other things that are happening. Let's see, today is the 26th. Yeah, so for May, the only other thing that we have is the Mercury Cazimi on May 29th, which is when Mercury is conjunct the Sun at 9 degrees Gemini. So we can really access messages from source, because Mercury, the messenger, is having a meeting with our divine source of all life. So there's that. And then we do have a really other big transit coming on June 9th, which is technically in 2 weeks, which is Jupiter moving into Cancer. But I'm going to make a separate video for that in about 10 days. So it's coming. The other things that we have before I see you again is on June 5th, Venus moves into Taurus, and she loves being in Taurus. Venus is the ruler of Taurus. This is a very sensual, abundant time, a time to really enjoy the good things in life. On June 8th, Mercury moves into Cancer. So Mercury in Cancer really wants to talk about feelings. And then on June 9th, we have Jupiter moving into Cancer, but I'm going to make a separate video for that. So those are the main highlights that we have for this 2-week period. And I really hope that you will mind your words and use them to create the world that you want to see. Let me pull the one card. There's so many things I want to say, but I also try and keep these videos at a watchable length. Okay. So considering the main theme of what we've spoken about today, this ability to manifest our dreams through work, Saturn, and speech, Mercury. What is one card that wants to deliver a message for us today? There's 2 cards. Oh, I love it. Okay. I use one finger, but sometimes I can't separate 2 of the cards or 3 of the cards, and then I'll take them both. 3s. On the tree of life, 3 is the number of Saturn, the number of materialization. And we've got the 3 of Cups and the 3 of Pentacles. And it's so fitting because this is about creating abundance through right work. So please remember, in this world of New Age manifestation pop culture, yes, I have opinions about it. It isn't that we just say our fantasy out loud and then our fantasy lands in our lap. It is that we need right work about it. Saturn is about work, good work, honorable work. And in the 3 of Pentacles, that's what's happening. There's collaboration, there's respect, there's skill. And in the 3 of Cups, we have the celebration of success and we have community. What both of these have in common is collaboration and community and the realization of a thing. So to create the abundance that you seek, we need to be in right relationship with where we're putting our energy. We need to be doing right work. And if you have seen those memes, there's a meme about life advice from different astrology sign kids. And my favorite was the Capricorn kid. I think he was 9. And he said, in order to make your dreams come true, I'm paraphrasing, you have to make the wish, but then you have to do the wish. And that is very Saturn magic. So make the wish and do the wish. All right. If you would like to book a reading with me, tarot or astrology, sound healing, I offer so many things. I encourage you to go to my website, roseofvenus.com. If you want to train in the magical arts with me, roseofvenus.com. If you are really inspired about embodiment through temple dance, go to roseofvenus.com and look at the Rose Temple Dance column because I have a lot of new offerings coming in that department. Happy new moon. Go speak what you want and then go do the work to get what you want. All right. Talk to you later.